Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is 3:24 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and this is video number 2 of the wireless series that I'm doing for you guys. I'm in the wireless industry. In the last video, I went over basically how to choose a wireless carrier and what to look for in general at the service industry. This video is basically once you've determined which wireless carrier you want, and make sure you have the coverage in that location, and you understand the terms and conditions and how you operate under that particular carrier. Now once you've gone ahead and figured that out, now the problem is choosing a phone. Now here can be the challenging part. Unfortunately, with phones, a lot of times they have what are known as agreements with carriers, okay? So basically you may find a phone that you like, but it may not be with the carrier that you want. So you have to be able to make a decision whether is it worth having a phone, okay, that you really want, over having a better quality service in your area, okay? So let's say you live in, I don't know, Michigan, right? And you want the BlackBerry Storm 2. However, Verizon Wireless does not provide great service. They have some service. Is it worth it to get the BlackBerry Storm 2 as opposed to maybe the BlackBerry from AT&T in that particular area? Is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not. And that's completely, as the consumer, that's completely up to you. If you decide to go to, I don't know, let's say you want the new Android phone or an Android phone, it's not new anymore, the Hero, okay, which is a popular device, and it's on Sprint. Well, let's say you live in Montana, and they have wonderful service. Great, that means you can get that phone, but if they don't, is it worth paying for the Sprint service and getting that and maybe having a few drop calls here and there? Is it worth it? You just have to determine for yourself, is it worth it for yourself? Is it worth the extra headache? You know, and a lot of times people base the quality of a cell phone carrier based on their selection of phones. Sometimes they base the quality of a cell phone carrier based on their service and network. I tend to do it on the latter of two, the service and network. Great phones will always come around. Just because the cell phone carrier does not have that phone now doesn't mean they won't get it in a month or two, maybe a few more months. Sometimes being patient is better than getting into a hassle because they have what are known as contracts, okay? And I'm going to bring up, because I said I am partial to Verizon, but every carrier pretty much follows the same old deal, okay? If you don't like it, don't watch this video because I'm a Verizon person, as I did work for them and I do understand their products and services, but it is pretty much the same throughout the entire cell phone industry. Basically, if you go into plans, okay, I'm sorry, not plans, you go into cell phones, okay, and you say, I want the, I don't know, the Motorola Moto W755 in black slate. Alright. Now, a lot of times, speaking of looking at the website, a lot of times carriers will give you benefits or they will give you incentives to shop online. And the reason is because it costs the carrier money every time you call into their call center. It costs anywhere, and when I left, it was at around $10 per customer that called in. So just multiply that by the millions of customers that call in every month, and you can imagine, even if it's only 2 million customers out of the 89 million that Verizon have, if not more, that's still quite a bit of cash that's costing the company. So they give you incentives to shop online. Alright, and looking at here, the Moto W755 is free with a 2-year contract. Now, what a 2-year contract is basically means that you are signing an agreement with that particular cell phone carrier, whether it be Sprint, Verizon Wireless, T-Mobile, AT&T, you are agreeing to stay with them for 2 years, okay? Now, yes, there's a bunch of issues. FCC is talking about ETFs, or early termination fees, and basically an early termination fee is the fee that is charged to the customer for leaving out of the contract early, and ranges anywhere from, depending on the kind of early termination fee, anywhere from probably $100 to $350, depending on how long a customer has been with the company and during that particular contract and such and such. So pretty much looking at here, if you want this particular device, it says your price is free with the 2-year contract, but it doesn't tell you the full cost. So this is not the cost of the phone. This is the cost of the phone with a reduced price. Okay, so for the cell phone provider is giving you a discount on your handset as an appreciation for agreeing to stay with them for 2 years. Okay, so that's the deal they're making with you. Now, some of these handsets, I've always had trouble finding it on the Verizon site the actual cost outright of a handset. But basically, some of these handsets range anywhere from $150 all the way on up to $500. Okay. And the different kinds of handsets you can get a regular phone, okay? You can get a PDA phone. You can get, and a PDA is basically a personal digital assistant, but they have multiple different kinds, alright? And they have Blackberries, which are basically the same thing, but made by the RIM Corporation, Research in Motion. And basically they give you the same thing, access to email on the go, mobile web browsing and such. Push to talk, some carriers have this, some don't. Sprint has it, Verizon has it, and that's basically a walkie-talkie feature, and the phone has to be able to support it. Verizon definitely has a good selection of push to talk phones, okay? And then there's mobile broadband, and mobile broadband is internet access on the go. Okay, so basically choosing your phone can be difficult, but my suggestion is go into the retail store, play with the phone a couple of times. Okay, research it online. Let's say you want the BlackBerry Storm 2. Well, go to Google and type in BlackBerry Storm 2. Okay, and learn about the phone. Learn what the phone has to offer. Okay, learn its features. Learn what it can do for you before you get into it. And don't let a salesperson try and con you in, because they do get commission and they do get payouts for every time they sell a phone. Customer service, they will tell you they don't get payouts, which they usually don't, but they do benefit in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's through a contest or something that particular department may have. And now I stopped working for Verizon in February of 2009, so I'm only going based off the experience that I had. I don't know if they're still doing this anymore. And because the relative that still works for Verizon is bound by secrecy with the company, I don't know. But usually it wouldn't make sense that they would just abruptly change. So I'm assuming that they still do. Usually there's some sort of fringe benefit for the customer service representative. Okay? Now, definitely, this is basically, the features that it has. Go ahead, educate yourself on the phone, then go in and purchase the phone. Know what you want. Don't let a salesperson say, well, now some people are very good. Not to say that there's bad salespeople, but they are there to make a sale, and they will try and get you into some device. Some people will be good about it and look out for you, the consumer. Some people will just concoct a way to get you onto a cell phone that you may or may not need, or may have too many features, or may not have the features you need, and you will be unhappy. And this is where it leads to other stuff. So basically, this is how to select the cell phone. I basically showed you how to look for a cell phone, find a cell phone you want, basically choosing the cell phone, educating yourself. So that's basically it. So in the next video I'm going to go over basically, basically I'm just going to wrap up the wireless series and go from there. And I want to thank you for joining me. This is the Circuit 123. Have a wonderful day.